how large the Royal York Hotel is, and had been. As you can see, all the other taller buildings around it are the relatively newer ones, the ones which are 40 years old or younger, including the large bank buildings which we drove up to before. All 5 of our national banks are headquartered in the same city block. All of those tall buildings, they're all right next door to one another. The financial industry is the single largest industry we have in Toronto, so those are the biggest and busiest office buildings in Canada. But if you want to know what the biggest tower is in Toronto, and not just Toronto, but the biggest tower in Canada, also the biggest tower in North America or South America, the tallest tower in this entire hemisphere, and the second tallest tower in the world, that's to the right of us, the CN Tower. From the moment it was built in 1976 until last year, it was the tallest tower in the world. It was just passed last year by the Tower of Dubai. But it's still second place, and it's still the tallest in the Americas, in North or South America. In fact, the next tallest building in North or South America is the Sears Tower in Chicago, currently called the Willis Tower. Big Willie, as they call it, is you see on the side of the CN Tower, they have 2 pods, a lower one and a higher one. The Sears Tower only goes to just above the first pod, so it's significantly taller than that. Maybe you also know the Eiffel Tower in Paris. If you built the Eiffel Tower and put it right next door to the CN Tower, and then you built a second Eiffel Tower on top of the first one, it would still be shorter than the CN Tower. CN Tower is 1,815 feet tall. That's 553 meters. It's mostly an observation deck. You ride on the elevator, you go up and you see the view from up there. The elevator is the fastest in the world. It takes you from the ground to the 1,200 foot level in 58 seconds. Very fast. You are going to experience a change in air pressure if you ride it, so you're going to want to chew some gum. It's no different than when you go up in an airplane. So its main purpose is that it is an observation deck, but it has a functional purpose as well. The top of it is an antenna which broadcasts UHF, VHF, and other radio waves. It's also a major lightning research facility. The CN Tower gets struck by lightning 80 times a year, including 8 times in the last week. We don't get very many lightning storms in Toronto, but when we do, the CN Tower absorbs a lot of lightning strikes and records the data because it's so high up. Most lightning storms occur in warmer climates, but this is one of the world's leading research facilities because of the very sensitive instruments they have. They record data every time it gets struck. If you're fans of trains, to the left of us, you know how I mentioned the Canadian Pacific Railway? This was their original roundhouse, meaning the train cars went here. They would come in, they would get turned around, or they would get fixed up in with this building. These trains which you see to the left are historic trains. Many of them are well over 80, 90, 100 years old. But they don't move here anymore. Those trains are here to stay because there are no more tracks. This building now houses 2 different things. One end of it, on the right-hand side,